Doug MPA back with another one. So the term gray divorce is officially part of mainstream. You're going to see it more and more now. And the term gray divorce means a couple was married and they decided to get divorced over the age of 50. This article is called Gray Divorce Has Doubled Since the 90s and the Financial Risk is High for Women because, of course, it is, guys. Everything is higher risk for women. Every issue in society, even men's issues, have a higher risk for women when it comes to mainstream news and mainstream society. So we're going to look into this whole gray divorce thing. Before I do that, like the video, subscribe to the channel, drop a comment. I really appreciate it. Shows you support me and what I'm doing over here. And let's get into this. It says, breaking up in old age can be costly, especially for women. The rate of gray divorce, a term that describes divorce at age 50 and older, doubled from 1990 to 2019. It tripled for adults over the age of 65. Wow.
Jesus H. Christ.
So these people over 65 getting divorced, what are they going to do in their later years? Kevin Samuels said the best. You need someone to give you your insulin shot and help you put your dentures in. And remember, guys, all across the board, women leave men 70 to 80% of the time. In 1970, about 8% of Americans who divorced were age 50 and older. By 2019, that share had jumped to an astounding 36%. About 1 in 10 people, 9%, who divorced in 2019 were at least 65 years old. Meanwhile, rates of divorce have declined among younger adults, according to these sociology professors. In heterosexual relationships, gray divorce typically has more negative implications for women than men. Studies suggest women's household income generally drops between 23% and 40% in the year after a divorce. You want to know why? Because the husband makes more money, and the husband was the one that supported the family as the breadwinner the whole time. Guys, here's one of the things in mainstream society that's going on right now. Society, women and society don't recognize men being the breadwinners. 70% of households in the United States, the man is the breadwinner. And we get no credit for it. None. At all. And it's funny because women don't want to give men credit for being breadwinners, but then a lot of reasons why professional older women are single is because they don't want to be the breadwinner for a family, guys. They don't want to marry a lesser man and then have children and take care of that man and those children for their whole lives. They don't want to do it, but then they don't want to give men the credit for doing it. It says the economic effects are less severe for men, with some studies showing their income may even rise after a breakup, according to these professors. And why would that be, guys? It's because women spend more money than men. Men are simple. We usually have one hobby that we spend all of our money on. And even in marriage, we don't get to spend a lot of our money on that. Guys will drive the same truck for 15, 20 years, wear the same clothes. Guys don't normally make more money after a divorce. They just get to keep more of it. Tell me I'm lying, you guys. Tell me I'm lying. Those financial disparities seem to be more muted for younger generations of women due to a greater likelihood of them working relative to older cohorts, experts said. Many older adults who divorce today adhere to the traditional notion of a man as a household's sole breadwinner, they said. We're seeing women in divorce today who are of the generation where they just didn't work their entire life. And I would argue that those women had a better quality of life than these women who are out here by themselves, can't find a man, have to go on these girls' trips because they don't have a man to go with. These are women who got to be married to a good man, the majority of them. You know, got to spend time with their children that these modern professional women are not going to be able to have. These women got Christmases and Thanksgivings as a family. Two families came together, had help from the grandparents and stuff. A lot of these modern women aren't going to have that opportunity, guys. So you could argue that these women had a better quality of life. And the sad part about it is these women are telling their daughters, you don't want this. You want to be out here alone all by yourself with your job that can care less about you. Women also tend to earn lower incomes than men due to that persistent wage gap. We knew that was coming, guys.
Jesus H. Christ.
Every single one of these articles has to talk about the wage gap. They tend to have less savings, and new retirees who are divorcing don't have much time to make up the difference. Divorced women can claim a Social Security benefit based on their earnings or a former spouse's earnings history, but the latter option is generally worth only up to half of an ex's benefit. Remarrying or cohabitating generally helps bolster one's finances via pooling of resources, but women who undergo great divorce are less likely to do so than men. Only 22% of women repartner in the decade after great divorce versus 37% of men, putting them at a sustained economic disadvantage into old age, according to this separate paper. So I'm surprised. 22% of women repartner after great divorce. That's actually higher than I thought, guys. I thought it would be 5% or 2%. Although women's standard of living declined by 45% following a great divorce, while the drop for men was less severe at 21%. These negative economic outcomes persisted over time, indicating that great divorce operates as a chronic economic strain. Poverty levels among women old enough to qualify for Social Security retirement benefits are almost twice as high for women who divorced after the age of 50 as those who divorced before age 50. That's why these women should stay with their husbands. Because ultimately, it gets down to the numbers. Can you afford to leave your husband, ladies? Can you afford it? A lot of times, no, but these women do it anyway. So, how women can protect themselves financially. Here are some steps. Okay, get active in your household finances. Women should take a very active role in their household finances. Women shouldn't get to a point where they're unaware of their household's spending, savings, and mortgage payments and interest rates, for example. She said, such information could come as a surprise upon divorce, and women may learn they're not as financially well protected. So, this is actually good advice. If the woman is running the finances, the guy should be able to look them over and have access to them. And it's the same thing with the woman. If the guy's making the financial decisions and it's his money, like the woman should at least know where you guys are at. Now, I do agree she shouldn't see the problems because you don't want her to worry, especially if the family has kids, but there needs to be some level of transparency, guys. Come on. So I can't tell you how many times I've met couples where the woman had no idea what the husband was doing financially. Have access to your own money. Many couples commingle their financial accounts. Many women may also be authorized user of credit cards instead of primary owners. But women should ensure they have access to their own funds so their spouse can't shut off the financial spigot if a relationship sours. Now, here's the thing. When it comes to average people, maybe yes. But guys, if you're high value, oh come on now. Like if you're paying the cost to be the boss, working 80 hours a week, making a large sum of money in corporate America or the public sector or like a business owner, you have the greater responsibility of your money. Okay? Now, most average people have to do this where we're access, but guys, come on. You guys know what I'm talking about. Additionally, women should consider investing or saving in their own retirement account. Retirement savers generally need to earn income to open and contribute to an individual's retirement account. Be strategic about claiming Social Security. Social Security is an important source of guaranteed income in retirement, especially for women. The secret of claiming benefits can be important for married couples and can help women hedge against divorce. Save some alimony. If a woman receives alimony after a divorce, she should aim to save some of it instead of spending it all. And this is a woman, a financial expert, saying, women, don't spend all of your alimony. That's because alimony generally only lasts for a certain period, and women must make it last. Just because you get alimony, it's not business as usual. You probably need to reassess your lifestyle. Consider a prenuptial or postnuptial agreement. Couples can also consider a prenup or postnuptial agreement that contains provisions to protect the woman financially if she leaves the workforce to care for the children. Doing so generally permanently dents the caregiver's earning power, and a legal agreement can help insulate against that financial risk, she added. For example, perhaps it stipulates the woman gets a guaranteed stream of income for a certain number of years if the marriage dissolves. She recommends working with an attorney who specializes in such legal documents. The hard fact is, Men get raked over the coals in paternity court and divorce court, guys. Men lose when they get divorced. So just the premise of this article, the only way that this can exist is if they don't take into account divorce court. Men pay the majority of child support. Men pay the majority of alimony. Let me know what you think about this in the comments. Like the video, subscribe to the channel. I'll catch you on the next one.